Hello everyone, this is Tuchodor. Today we are gonna do a mixed media portrait. I'm gonna use my charcoal pen and my watercolor to add some colors on it later. I'm going for Derwent graphic pens 4B. I usually use 2B actually, but it starts to annoy me. I feel like it's too faded. I don't know if they change it or I just start to like darker shades more and more over the years. Anyway, I am starting with putting the rough sketch of my portrait. It's gonna be a female portrait as usual. I actually tried to draw some male's portrait, but I'm somehow bad at it. I don't know, I don't find male's portrait as aesthetically pleasing as the female's one. Maybe that's why I ended up not liking them, so I stick to the female's portrait. There's something like so aesthetically charming about them. I am putting the sketch like very roughly at first, and I'm not actually pushing the pencil too much because I might do so much mistakes on this stage. I'm just gonna try to put a proportion right there. Then I'm gonna get into details later on once the proportion is looking fine enough. Even though I can't really see what I'm doing because my angle towards the paper that I'm drawing on is not very convenient. Anyway, it's gonna be fine, I think. I can't say I actually have like a certain rule while I am drawing the portraits. I just get so used to it. So I'm just checking on my reference photo and making sure that everything's on the right angle first. That's the thing that I pay the most attention while I'm putting the rough sketch. Like if the head is a bit tilted, if it's a bit on the quarter side or front side, those are the main things I pay attention at first. And then I'm using those long lines to decide where the eyebrow's gonna be, where the nose gonna be, where the lips gonna be. And I'm taking a step back and taking a look. And if it looks fine enough, then I'm starting to placing the pieces of the face. I don't know why I usually start from eyebrows or eyes. Once I think they are well located, the rest is kind of easier for me to place. Here I put the eyes and somehow I managed to make them quite symmetrical. Usually one eye is always a bit higher or lower or smaller or twisted, but this time I nailed it. Woohoo! I'm having a proud moment. I think the hardest part for me is the nose, so mostly I don't pay so much attention to it. I actually should do. I actually work on it a bit more, but when it annoys me, when I find it hard, I'm just yeah, whatever, I'm just gonna put a simple nose shape and focus on the parts that I enjoy the more, which is lips. I quite like drawing lips. I'm not so good at them, but I just find them so challenging in a nice way. And it changed the whole face. I mean, all the parts actually making huge changes, even the little lines making huge changes. But the lips are most fun part to draw for me. Actually, I wasn't really honest maybe because I actually love drawing hairs too. I don't like drawing them, I just like them a lot on a painting when they are well done. I happen to do some good ones and some bad ones. Good hair day and bad hair day actually exist on the paper too. But this one is not going so bad. I'm giving way too much volume to it. But yeah, why not? That's just a drawing. Even I follow reference photo. I don't 100% follow it. I mostly take 60 to 70% of it and change it, twist it and make it more my style, which is a bit exaggerated. Not really cartoony, but little changes according to what I like on a face. Once I'm sure that the things looking better, they're on the right place, I'm actually starting to use the pencil with a bit more pressure, so defining the last lines. I studied animation, if you don't know, we used to do so many rough sketches before finalizing it, we call it cleanup. So I'm so used to doing so many super light sketches and using so many lines until I decide okay, this is the right one and go over it. And it actually helps me a lot drawing portraits too. I'm using way less sketch lines right now. I am more to the point. It's getting easier and easier over the time, of course. Probably it's gonna be the same case for you, or it's already is, I don't know. But once I feel okay, this looks right, the line is on the right place, I'm just putting a bit more pressure, but never really using super hard lines. You can still need to change in the future, so it's better to keep it a bit lightish, not use all your force on the pencil. Don't make it super dark. I think after applying some shades here and there too, I want to apply some colors on it. But I'm gonna use a watercolor more like a filter on this painting instead of defining all the details with it. Sometimes I just do like very detailed watercolor portraits, but this one I want to do more like sketch-like, a bit colored, very like nicely done mixed media. At least in my imagination, it's gonna be a very nicely done mixed media. I'm starting with the lightest shades overall on the skin. I put quite yellowish. I usually go for more nude, brown, reddish tones, but this time I want to go towards cooler tones. After applying base color of the face, I am doing the same thing for the hair, and I go for light blue. Actually, it's indigo with so much water in it. I diluted it, and I'm just applying it on the places where the shade's gonna be and leaving some white parts here and there. Don't forget it if you're doing watercolor. Other medias too, actually leaving some white parts where the light reflects the most always make your painting looks more appealing. I decided that the light's gonna be casting from the right side, so I'm using the darker shades, which I'm applying right now, on the left side the most, and leaving more white gaps on the right side of the painting. So the eye is just gonna catch the overall understanding, like where light is on the right side, the left side of the painting is always a bit darker compared to the right parts. I'm using actually very big brush for it. I normally go for like small round brushes, but first of all, my paper is like 300-gram watercolor paper. That's something that you should be careful if you're gonna apply a couple of layers of water. Better to have like above 200 for sure, but when I do like big portraits like this, I don't want the paper to be ruined with so many layers that I'm applying. I go for 300 grams. This is a cold press paper. That's actually the process of the paper change the texture of it and how it actually absorb and texture the watercolor on it. So you can try both and decide which one you like the most. Hot presses are less common compared to cold presses. Cold press like very easy to find, and actually like the effect of it. If I'm doing something more faded, way more watercolor vibe, I go for the hot press, but like daily use, cold press is quite fine. Hot press is less textured, so it's better for like thin lines and everything. To have like clean lines, it can be a bit challenging. You always have to wait for the layers to get dry. Don't use so much water on your mixture so it doesn't absorb so much and the color stays still. Anyway, let's focus on what I'm doing here. After applying the color on the hair too, I am gonna add some blush. That's always my like second step after the base color. I'm using diluted red, kind of nude red. Actually, I add some like burnt umber in it, so it's not like very sharp red. It's way more faded, matching with the style that I'm going for, and adding it around the nose, on the cheeks, lips, on eyelids, and a bit on the shoulder and the back of her also, because if you use on just like certain areas and not carry the same color on overall your painting, it looks a bit disconnected in my opinion. So mostly when I use a sharper or different color, I try to use the same color on the different part of the painting also for it to look more united. Now I put my base color, so I'm gonna take my charcoal pen after it dries, because if you take it and apply it while the paint is still wet, it might destroy your paper very easily because your paper is still fragile. So after it dries, I'm just applying a bit darker shade with the charcoal pen. Actually, you can go for like 6B, even for 8B at this stage, because you know where the dark's gonna be, the details are already like getting there. So it could be nice to have like very dark shades, but I'm playing a bit safe maybe, so I'm sticking the same pen and just putting the details there, like around the eyes and everything. You can do it with a watercolor too, but I want this painting to look like mixed media to the core, so I don't want the charcoal pen to disappear under the watercolor. I just want the watercolor actually be there to accompany the charcoal pen. I don't know, I have this idea in my head, so I'm gonna see how it's gonna turn out. I use it time to time, but I never go with the plan like I am doing right now. But I think it's gonna be nice. I don't know, it has its own charm and it looks more vintage somehow to me, like those old matte paintings, you know, like hand drawn and added some color, but the colors are so faded, but the drawings are still there. That's the effect that I'm trying to go for. I will actually do this step with the watercolor. I will just add the shades with the watercolor, but I'm actually enjoying adding details with either charcoal pen or gel pen. That step like charming me. It's a bit long, but I like the process, so it doesn't bother me. I just like when it's quite sketch-like, and once you start to add details with the darker colors, it's just coming out all together and it's just getting better and better from there. It's like applying makeup on your drawing. Actually, adding details I think is my favorite part. It's just like, you know, it's not gonna go down from that hill, like it's just gonna get better from that point on, because like when I do watercolor portraits, the moment I start till the like middle of it seems like I am doing something so wrong. It looks so bad, it looks so wrong. And actually some of you commented on my videos also like, wow, I don't know how you turned around, it looks so bad in the middle of the video and you just actually fixed it. That's the thing, like you really gotta trust the process, because mostly middle of it, when you're building the colors, adding the layers, it looks bad. So you just gotta trust yourself and go step by step and not focus on the process at the moment and just focus on how it's gonna look like, what you have in your head. That's what's happening. When I come to details, I know that, okay, from now on, it's just gonna get better. So I'm feeling more relaxed and comfortable. I'm using my charcoal pen, but I decide I need something a bit darker. This pen that I'm in love with, it's like charcoal pen, but you can actually mix it with water also. It's like diluting when it's mixed with water. It's not like regular charcoal pens. I love it. You can just apply it on wet paper while the painting is still wet and it's just gonna blend nicely, or you can just apply it first and add some water on it if you want to blend. Either you can have the control and apply it on the dry media and add water wherever you want, or just apply it directly on the wet media and have this nicer watercolor effect with the pen. So if you like adding details but want it to look like a watercolor, this pen is amazing. I don't even know where I get it actually. I just had it. I didn't know the effect or nothing. I was just using it randomly and I'm like, oh wait, okay, this is very nice. I'm gonna try to find it again actually. I wanna make a stock. I don't know if it's same for you too. Like when I like a product, I'm just like taking a couple of it in case, you know, in case the brand decided to like shut down and produce it anymore, because it happened before. So I wanna have like some extra for the next year, so I don't have to worry about like finishing it, because when I worry about finishing things or when I like something so much, I stop using it. I'm like, no, I keep it for the special occasion, and this special occasion never comes. So when I realize I'm doing it with my art supplies and I'm like, no, I'm gonna use my best paper when I feel like right now is the best moment. If it finished, and I'm gonna move on. Instead of like keeping it in my drawer for years, and you know, products actually losing quality over time also, so it's better to use them at that moment. Anyway, you see now like the more darker shades I add, the details actually like popping up. The contrast is there. The details are coming together, the overall shape is good. I can still apply some more color on it because it's a bit too faded, like especially after I added very dark pencil details. The watercolors start to seem a bit too faded for my liking. So probably I'm gonna go over and add another 1 or 2 layers. So like as you see, I'm going really like layer by layer, so it's really important to have proper paper for it. It doesn't have to be like very fancy brand or anything. Just make sure you have something like 300 grams if you're gonna follow this tutorial and try to do the same thing, because it's such a bummer if your paper is thin and like middle of it starts to like get wavy or even destroy, and you're just like, I don't know, you just waste your time, and maybe the painting that you were happy with, you were going with it, and the paper just decided to mess with you. So make sure to choose the right paper. I think Canson has like some budget-friendly 300 grams watercolor paper I used to use when I was a student. Even sometimes like right now when I do like very random sketches, if I'm not recording on it, I'm not even sure if I ever recorded on Canson paper. I don't remember actually. It's a good option. You can just check on your like local stationery shop and you can ask them for like 300 gram watercolor paper. Budget friendly options. If you're a beginner, then you're gonna be good to go. If you get a like new watercolor paper, it's always better to do some training on it, like try how your colors are looking on it, how your pencil is reacting with it, because every paper has their own character. And if you already use one brand and switch to another one, start like, that's what I do. I'm taking the first page and doing some like random, just like little sketches, or just like splashing some water, some colors, and see that how the actually paper reflecting it, how it's mixing, how much the paper absorbed the color, and how the effect when it's all dry. Anyway, after I'm done with my details, now I'm actually gonna show you the magic. You see, I'm adding some water. My brush like almost have no color. It's really faded indigo with so much water, and I'm just going over where I use this pen, and you see it's not really losing the effect like charcoal effect, but it's fading a bit, so it doesn't stay there as strong as it was before. I'm not gonna do it everywhere, but where I want it to fade it a bit more. So I'm having this blurred lens effect on the painting. This is just so great. I don't know if there's like other product like this. I mean, it's not really like watercolor pencils because it really looks like charcoal pen. If you don't touch it with the water, it has the effect of charcoal pen. But the moment you touch with the water, you see, this is just so cool. Now I'm adding a bit more indigo on my mixture. The color is a bit more there to highlight the shadows a bit more. You can see like there's a sharper contrast now on it. Okay, my red faded too much. So I'm gonna add some more blush because I don't want it to look that faded. Oh my gosh, the more contrast I'm doing, the more I wanna do actually. I'm keep adding some more shades. I should actually stop in one point because whenever I do it, you know, the color can get muddy easily. If you apply the shadows with the black color, that's one of the reasons that your colors are getting muddy. Black is not a good option to apply shadows. Go for like dark brown, dark red, or dark blue, or dark green, depending on which scale you are gonna go for, which color palette you prefer to use. But like even with the indigo, if I apply it one layer after another, it's gonna get muddy. The reason is there is a charcoal pen which is black, and there is this water diluted charcoal pen which is black too. So your watercolor gonna start actually mixed with those medias too, and gonna make it look also muddy. So be careful to don't rub it so much. So just make sure where you're gonna apply those shades and just go over there once or twice maximum. If you keep like rub it your brush, go on the same places over and over and over, it's gonna get muddy and blurry, and it's gonna like mess up your painting, and you're gonna probably lose the nice details that you applied before. Now I decided I have enough shades. I wanna add some lights. I am using very diluted yellow and just applying some lights, especially on the right side of the painting. I just wanted to have this really filtered effect, like the light is casting a bit on her. I can't leave the shadows alone. I'm like, okay, I can add a bit more, maybe a bit more here and there. And every steps I go, like I feel like, okay, this part needs a bit more attention. Maybe this part needs a bit more attention. I'm not like focusing on one part and finishing it before moving on to another one. I really go like layer by layer and step by step, one step after another. As you see, I'm getting my water diluted charcoal pen to add a bit more blacks here and there where I want to look very black, like not diluted, not faded, when it needs to be like very dark and sharp. I'm just highlighting the contrast on certain areas to bring more attention on the portraits, because my painting is big. I mean, not huge, but big, and there's like torso of her also and the hair too, but I want the attention to be on her face the most. So I'm applying very sharp contrast on the eyes, lips, and around the nose, so the eye gonna catch there first. Now when I'm applying this layer, these last touches, my paper is fully dry. Like I waited for watercolor to get dry, so it's not gonna blend with the water, and it's just gonna stay there and give me this nice charcoal pen effect. On this layer, actually, you can just use like normal Derwent pencil, like 8B, something really black and sharp, and add these details too. Now I'm getting the effect that I actually wanted. It looks like this old faded vintage photo with like very subtle little colors, but still the color is there. I think after applying last little bit of color here and there, as I told you before, I'm carrying the red because the red is like the sharpest color on this painting, and it needs to be carried around for painting to look more united. So that's what I'm doing now, adding some reds here and there. Once I feel like, okay, it looks more combined, more aligned, I think I am good to go. Here we come to end of this video. I hope you enjoy watching it and listening to me. Let me know what you think and what kind of videos you want me to shoot next. I'll see you guys very soon. Ciao!